الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وبعد. All praise is due to Allah. May His peace and blessings be showered upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who fought tooth and nail for Islam to get to every corner of the world. We request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bestow unto him His full blessings and mercy, and to whoever is to follow his footsteps until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. I take this opportunity to deliver the salam from the Gulu society. You people, I always tell you, travel and explore. Okay, you don't have a visa, you don't have a passport. Start in Uganda, you don't need one. Travel, go in the far southwest, north, east. Leave your comfort zone. We enjoyed Gulu, alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them abundantly. They hosted us well. We were welcomed with my team well. Ne batulabirira bulungi. Ne bangamba nti bagadde n'okumpa ku byokulya mbaleetereko. Naye nagenza olaba. I'm coming back on Sunday bijja kunvundako. Ne ngamba we shall just go there in a group. Nabawayiriza. Yes, but they delivered good. They delivered their salam to you. They sent you salam and I have delivered it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them abundantly. Ameen ya Rabbi. And actually we had our 48th episode there in Gulu. It was all about the gender war crisis. That's why I wanted you, I wanted you to also contribute onto it. Why do you hate us so much? We start with the ladies? Because olwairo jagala buli kaseera nze ayogera nzeka. I want us to dominate this session fenna wamu. Why do you hate us? Why do we hate each other? Tandikire eno, yes. Tandikire Seka Isa uno. Bamuwe microphone. Busungu buno buva Isa. Why do ladies hate us? Hey, yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Njagala bakuwulire.
Seka obusungu buva ku bintu ebiwerako.
Bo weebuli.
Weebuli. Ekisookera ddala ekintu ekisinga okuleeta obusungu ewaka. Ntani wa musiraamu.
Sente?
Sente.
Bade manyi balina kwagala bwagazi ng'oziina.
Allahu akbar. Sente. Kintu kyasize okuleeta obuzibu ewaka. Sente ukasitazibula ewaka wezibanga zibaddewo ne ziggwawo.
Mukyala ng'akukyawa.
Allah. Gwe kennyini atandika okukutamu.
Atama gwe?
Yes. Olw'ensonga nti agenda buli w'okomawo agenda kukubuulira. Twetaaga kino, twetaaga kino, twetaaga kino, twetaaga kino, sabbuuni yaweddewo. Yaba ye sabbuuni mulya oba.
Obusungu bwe buva.
Otandika okulanga omunnyo olanga abagunuunu obunuunyi, olanga sabbuuni abali omulye. Kati gwe kennyini otandika okufuna obusungu obulange wakukyaga kubeerawo. Kale nabo bayombesa.
Kwegamba esente zino ogenda okulaba abazitwala bakyali balamu kyokka ziweddewo.
Ziweddewo.
Obusungu nga bujja.
Ate nga bakyazaagala. Kati obusungu nga bujja. Kwegamba sente isooka kasaziggwawo n'okubeera ogenda otandika okubeera nga mukyalo tokyamwesiga nga naye takyakwesiga. Wayalowooza sente oziteeka mu bakazi bo balala.
Kyokka nga toziina.
Kumbe toziina sente zikoze ki? Zikendedde.
Kati obwavu kireese obusungu buno okubaawo.
Obwavu. Seeka obwavu kibi. Bwe businza okutabangula amaka g'abantu gonna n'omusajja ebisinga okukugaana lwa nsonga ya sente. So wange nsawo teyimiridde bulungi tunakyo gamba ggwanga.
Okay.
Yeah. So emu ku nsonga ezireeta obusungu ewaka.
Ate n'ebweru kubanga toyogedde ku bafumbo. Obusungu buno obuli ku side zombiriri. If ladies are having a chance to talk about men, amanya ge balina mbwa mbuzi, temulina magezi, bye biri okumpi. What is the cause? Chandibadde kikola makulu okubanga if they are asked about, say something about men, they are beautiful creatures, they care about us, they protect us, tebiriwo ebyo. tebasiima oba bikukalidde ku matama Isa bikukalidde ku matama
ensonga ensi yonna ntabangu kuchukua ni government esisi
government ekyogerako
government nayo yennyini kwegamba government teyambye abantu nabo bennyini nabo tebeyambye kakati niwesanga buli muntu alibibye abantu bangi buli kimu
bwe busungu abantu bakoowu
bo bakoowu
mashallah imamu tuwe imamu yes imamu oyinza kulungamya otya busungu buno buva ku ki abantu ingini ali mu kukyusa buntu abantu this is a valid question newe tunamalanga sisomesezza mpulire obusungu buno imamu oloza buva ku ki abakyala nga basitudde obusungu n'abasajja basitudde obusungu ku sayidi eri
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Desye kasendizo kulowooza Katonda mwayisizza obusungu ojjeko okuba ntusembedde enkomerero naye ebimu ku biringanga ensonga nga 3 esooka mu maka temukyali mukwano
maka temuli mukwano
tuliyanga bye bafoosinga obufoosinza okugendayo kyenyiza okutwala ng'ekyokulabirako nti bakadde baffe bafumbirwanga bamaama ne taata olw'okuba nti maama omusajja yali exposed to a certain level naye ate yo omukyala yali backward nnyo wasn't exposed kati yagumiranga ebintu bingi mbutamanya which was a blessing in disguise tikyali ffe twakuliramu ne tukulanga abamu generation yaffe abamu bakula bulungi bakola ki naye mugumira bino ebintu bingi n'okuba nti yalina emizi neki agumira abaana be bakule bano abaffe abazza bali exposed abasomye because okusoma kw'abaana abawala kutandise obola 90s Talinga 90 backwards abasomye abawala balinga batono nga bamayine banje ne guli yasoma ne guli yasoma kati exposure y'abaana abawala yeeyongedde tokiba kyamunyigira mabega agenda okufumbirwa omulenzi nga ne byayagala akola ki ayimanya abitebolinze gwayagala malayika ataliyo abatono nnyo it's like 0.01% omulenzi gwayagala kati agenda okuyingira mu bufumbo bonna bwagenda okuyingiramu nga byayagala odde abikola ki watabifuna afuna obusungu butandika okukola ki okuzimba mulova tampale byejagala atakola kati kitandika mpola nga kiya kibuildinga kati agenda okulaba omusajja amulaba nga nagamba neighbor nga tebwali bufumbo love eri nga tekola ki teriwo then ekyokulala kyenyiza okuleeta ekyokubiri nti abaana bano abawala bayina abantu babe bebaagala ng'abantu bebaagala tebayina busobozi batwala mu kaseera ako naye nga ye gwe abakola ki kubanga otunya abaana abawala babeerawo n'omuntu nga ne batamuwadde 10 nga ye asobola okubeera nga ne basuze ku sementi basula kusula ku ki naye nga lukyali tasula mukola ki muwasa kubanga naye aba akyali muvuka mu ki naye nga wuli omutima gwe okola ki gwe gwagala kati bw'alekawo oyo gw'abadde ayagala n'asitula eddala agende anasobola omuwasa wadde tamwagala is being pushed bamusindise bw'ayingira mu bufumbo asinkanya omusajja ne bw'anaagala nnyo tyomwagala singa tamuwa byayagala si tamwagala nga ye omuntu nga ye personally tuyinza okitwala nti generally abasinga mubaamu abaagala naye ngamba abasingira ddala enamba esinga abatamwagala ye nga ye personally kati nga kyamwagalako benefits ezikola ki kubanga naye waba agenda omwogereza amulaga motoka amulaga nyumba amulaga yimusika KFC amuteeka mu mbeera kikola ki kitegeeza nti watuukayo ewaka n'abimumma busungu butandikira awo nze byandeeta birala naye agenda nze najja tuya KFC kati ondisa mukeni kati ng'atandika okubiulira omutima gutandika okufa
okanya kwebuuza omukyala gwe nawasanga tweyagala obusungu buno obw'okuntu
otandika olaba obwana bukuba mpi addako gwe asookera ku baana naye asinga abalinako waayo asookola ki
akuyisaamu
bw'osanga ng'oli amuyidde omukyala ayidde bbaawo amazzi mu buliri akutta akaso amutemye akoze ebintu birina step bingi bitusanga ku mawulire agataliko nfuufu boogera nolaba ensonga nga ngekutte ku bantu bonna naye ng'ekivudde obusungu bujja building tebuba tutandise kati omukyala agenda okunoba mu maka ayinza okunoba emyaka 5 emabega ng'asiba mudde ebye naye ng'alina kakyesi kasipaka kayinze katono nnyo bwe kati
yakukyawa dda
emyaka 5 naye nga waali kitegeeza emyaka gyonna gyagenda okufumba egyo emyaka 5 nga yasiba dda agenda kuba ali mu busungu nga addeyo n'akaba n'amaziga n'akola nga yenyiga yekka kati obusungu bujja bubuildinga kuba obusungu is a gradual process tekitandika kati ujjako abantu nga balina sure nti bo balina obusungu oli osanga oli nga ye mu nature ye naye abantu engeri gye kisusse laba abantu nga kintu kitandise kati kijja kikwaki ekyensembyayo ekyokusatu otunya background zetukuliddemu abantu abasinga Allah tugeseza ti family zaffe zigenze zaawukana tuli osanga mama yamukuziza yekka oli akulidde ku taata ate gwogenda okubeera naye gwovudde olusi taata ne maama
akulidde mu busungu akulidde bamulaga basajja mbwa waba bakyala tombulira bakyala kati omuntu akuze bw'atunga ekifaananyi talina kifaananyi kyalaba kya another partner atuuke mu bufumbo gamba osookera eno mu mbwa okufuuka omuntu fojja okuva mu buntu
kati babanga bamupushinga nga okwate empologoma ogifuule embwa ogifuule kapa it's like opushinga ekintu ekibi okifuule ekirungi which is literally impossible
wallahi
kati ogenda okwendinga apo ngo oli ali mu bufumbo naye nga byayogera tebisaana omuntu akola
oluusi nga yeetegese okudiringa n'embwa naye nga tobangako nambwa tamayina musajja kati n'abeera nga byonna byonna is build about bias nga obufumbo bwe tulimu ennaku zino buli build about bias oli ava eri ng'alina mind ndala noli alina mind ndala ne baleeta ne bakola bomu ewaka bagita time bomb nga just eri ku tik sawa yonna ekola ki in a month eya they separate nga tuddamu kumbulya ki kati ensonga ezo zizimbibwa kyekyobwavu kyekyokusatu kyalabadde ensembyayo sente naye sente zaalibadde at a certain extent kubanga ffenna tukulidde mu environment nga yabwavu twawumanyiira tujja gamba nti kubanga oba otambuddeko n'otuka mu nsi ezaakulakana ogamba weesaasirako kwenyino gaa niwekabirako ku maziga ogamba baffe tuli mu jahannamu tuli eyo wansi eyo ngulaba nga mimwakuliramu birala nnyo ne bikoze ki nexperience yosanze kati kitegeeza ffenna abasinga bakawuliriza ffe si nnungi oba kitegeeza kati tetwanyi tukutenga nsonga wabula ensonga ziri ku ezo points bbiri nekyobwavu oba ki naye kyo kyokuba nga tufuula nga point Mashallah. Barakallahu fikum. Njagala engeri yangambye wano dakiika emu tusale mangu nga yes tusookere eno then tukomewo inshallah. Oba muti mulina busungu abasajja mubaagala temubalinaako buzibu. What is the problem? Obusungu buno buvaawa? Obusungu buno buvaawa?
Nze ngenda okwejjira kanti.
Kanso uno ashiya uno waliyo ne ajati wuli katusoke na ajati oli watusoke ne kanso ne kitiibwa basatu yes ajati kitiibwa. Why do you hate men?
First of all, I don't.
Otio weje
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Obusungu buno abakyala buvaawa. Why is it too much in other ladies as well?
I want to give 2 reasons, which I think, first of all, in this generation, I don't know about the previous ones, but in this generation, I think one of the reasons are ideologies, things that we think exist when they don't. Sometimes we don't understand amanya agali mu kigambo. You see these words people throw around, men are trash. Someone who is 6, 7, agena kulanga chawulira. Yes, they seem like a joke, but anything that enters the mind today, tomorrow, Wednesday, next week, it is processed. And even if you don't believe it, you start to see it, even in things where it's not there. Oja kuita kubantu, ngaba yomba, you don't know what the argument is about, and it looks like the man is winning and you're going to say, men are trash, or like the mindset keeps growing. So some of the things we say, and they might believe it's very dangerous, but we need to worry about them. And they're going to keep growing, they're going to keep manifesting into something else. That's one of the reasons. Okay. So we need to be very careful about the society that we are in. So some of the people we hang around may make us develop certain mindsets, even when it's not even happening to you. It has never happened to you, but the people you're surrounding yourself with, unfortunately, maybe they're having bad experiences, and every time you hear them, you're like, The second thing is also, there's where we had a seminar, I will not mention one of the times, and someone asked a question, Rachi, abachala bagala Christian men, abachala basidamu. So I think it also relates how the answer that one of the ladies gave is, it's because you men are not romantic. So I cannot explain that statement because I'm not the one who said it. But me, I think it's one of the reasons. People, but what I would like to assume, it's an assumption. Maybe I have grown up watching, I don't know, some Muyindi over there on some soap. There are things I expect. Yeah? Like, bien kuze I'm expecting, bien sunga. Ngendo kutuka, nyingi de makerere, and Allahu Akbar. I don't know. And you're not seeing that. When you don't see that, you start to feel like, tebamanyi mukwano. So you never know in one or another. It also grows into that. The last thing, so those are two things I really think, because abachala, it's really about emotions. I really think so. The last thing that I would like to believe causes that kind of hatred is also lack of responsibility. Kati, I want to give another example. And they believe that all the men in their tribe are cheats because chakuzala nti tata oli brother. So for them, they believe that whole tribe, their own tribe, they believe that. So I would urge our brothers to be very responsible people. Yes, because you're going to cultivate a mindset either in your sister or in your child or muchalao, and since the mothers are the ones who take most time with their children, that is what they are going to have. People in that tribe do what? Cheat. So if we are not responsible, those are the things. If us the ladies are not responsible, the men are going to think that abachala bonna balinga nze gwe balabye nawar avuma, you know. So same thing, if I see onogwendi nae webacho yeisa, I'm also going to assume that kale, that is how the Muslim brother treats himself. So we need to be responsible people, like we need to be exemplary. Yeah, that is what I've said.
MashaAllah. Barakallahu fikum. Tuzeko kanso, then tusembiaje tusembeo ni seka wanomu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Shay inze
obusungu buno buva wa kanso.
Obusungu buno buva mu bintu bingi nnyo. Tuyina obugumiikiriza, because anything that comes oyina okuba n'obugumiikiriza. Tuyina omukyalo ono agenda okujja nga we yatandika dating yasookera ku Muhammad n'amulumya omutima. Kati kyagenda otambula nakyo olubeerera. It is nako abasajja am dating for fwa. Nena kufumbirwa kusanyusa waka. You understand? So bwafuna ekyonna ekimutawanya mu bufumbo gyagenze n'omuntu omulala, ayina that hatred gyafuna dde wa Muhammad nga beedatinga. Yes. Nga beedatinga n'otuuka mu bufumbo nga tafaayo kyonna ekijja, ye ali ku kyonna kijja. The public has also did a lot about this anger that is coming in marriage. You're sitting somewhere, we are no longer receiving anything positive about marriage. Abasajja babi mbwa ne bw'omulabirira ne bw'okola ki tebasiimira ajja kuwasa omulala. Waliwo akali love letters. Omusajja simati tebamwebika. Ako tebamweyalira ne bamwebika. So omweyalira tomwebika. So you find like ogendo olekamu. So you find I'm a good woman that has come out in a home where I know nti omusajja kya muwendo, cause mama kyakuzandaga. Kajuiske kabaawo okumugololera, everything in place. Naye bwe kati owulira kitegeera obusungu buli awo.
Yes.
Kati ntuuka eno tutudde gye tutula ne bannaffe oba tulina bye tuli mu girls talk gw'omugolera nze maid yagolola omufumbi semufumbira sikwata
ojja mugolera bw'oto era awaseeyo omulala.
Yes, ojja mukolera awase omulala. So naye mukazi wattu gw'abadde omulungi you feel bizze ne waba musajja wattu alina gy'aludde obusungu bugenda kujja atuuke ewaka oyombe omuvume bimutame. Understand? Ekirala obugumiikiriza tetulina swabulu muffe because I know there are some things that come out because of Allah. Nga Allah yabirese mu bulamu bwaffe nga akutestinga. I won't disclose this so much. I have a client. Naye omukyalo oli yagenda ebweru n'akola ssente ze. N'azisindikiranga Haji bbaawe. Myaka 5.
Nga mwa ku ssente.
No, ng'azisindika beezimbe nga couple. But omwami ono yakutte n'akozesa ssente z'omukyala. Yakoma omukyala nga even a coin is not there. Naye omusakazi we yaze yakaabye and she felt like nze kankubulire kanso n'ebya Hajjati bintamye mbula ogenda mushirika omusajja oyo muloge. You feel that hunger? Because we are not handled in the right way. I come with a pure heart to love you forever, but for you have a presumption, myaka 3 nja kuba mukyai. You're putting something in me. I've come wholeheartedly nena kwagala nkufumbire mbeerewo ng'omukyalawo. But then you're going to disrespect me. Odaleti, botogere ekintu leero okiddamu n'enkya n'okiddamu mwaka mulamba nange mba mpulira mbikoze eki. Because ye buba kugumba ku kinusu. So if I just pray nti Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yandi kudde duwa zaffe with the right people, we meet the right people. Because if we meet the wrong people, they really turn us into bad people.
The hatred is just going to...
Yes, we are going to be negative all over the world.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Barakallahu fikum. One last lady, ne one Sheikh omu, nze mpeyo submission yange. Nam Hajat. Yes. Hajati obusungu buno buvaawa mukulaba okukwa mu ddakiika.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mana mulizo obusungu lwaki tebabaagala?
I would like to start with my submission, adding on Nawar's point. They run away from responsibility. They don't know anything about responsibility.
They are not responsible.
Then the second point, this one is mutual. Like what if not we don't want to understand each other. A woman fails to understand all those things. Omusajja akoma nga talese kaveera o atandikira osobola okudda ate nga embeera naye mwennyini ava ku mulimu agiraba.
So ladies don't understand men.
Yeah.
And men don't understand ladies.
Yes, they don't understand each other. They have high expectations from each other, as Nawar said. Fenna, oli aba asuubira nti omukyala ajja keera afumbe ebibumba, afumba akatogo, agolole essaati, amala agenda akole, akomewo, omwami agenda okudda nga amaze okuboobooza ettooke, ebyo byonna nga mbikoze. Kyokka ate era nga ayagala neera nkole tusobole okufuna income because of how the world is running these days, which is not possible. So tulina okwesaasiramu ffenna. Oli amanye nti ono omukyala it's not like the olden days nga bamaama be maybe nti maama we byakolera taata we. He expects that very thing. Yerabidde nti maama we takola, taata we yaleeta buli kimu. But at this time nze nkola yakola, so we need to have mercy. Fembi.
Okay.
Both the sides.
MashaAllah.
Then also, I don't know if it's personal, but sometimes, not all of them, but some men are disrespectful.
Disrespectful?
Yeah.
That's why you hate them.
They think women are over objects, like muli wansi bo bali waggulu nnyo mwe muli wansi since yasobola okuwasa abaana mwenna, so abalabanga oba ngambe nkya nti mwe muli eno, like even in normal life
masajja bamanyira batya payo example. Example eva ku busungu sajja bamanyira batya.
Ati nze kale siri mufumbo naye just nengeri osobola okuinteractinga n'omuntu n'omulabirawo nti ono bane bamukyala wabeera kyanga mbutuufu akulagira ddala nti abakyala tolina kyongamba oli below me toyinza kukola nze byensobola kukola, which is true partly nti of course senkana naye balina otandika otubalamu amagezi nti nange ndi muntu ntegeera baleme ayagala akutegeere buli come up to that dot atukwe n'okugamba nti hijabu gigye sijagala yet nawe oba ne personal preferences
gwojagadde.
Yeah. I think that is it.
Kyekyo tufuneyo seeka omu wanembe omu tukoleko omu abasigaye tujja kweyongerayo nga mumaliriza. Njagala kudduka ku African. Yes, seeka yeyasoose. Lwaki temwagala bakyala? Busungu buno buvaawo olowooza?
Naam, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kati abantu, like on this discussion, we are more of the family part. Kati katusoke tufulumeko ku family, tuddeko ko outside. One, for me, I think, on my opinion, men are no longer men, and women are trying to be men. Abasajja tebakyali basajja ate n'abakazi ajja tiyayogedde ku kigambo kya ideology babateekamu nti naawe kino okisobola
otuvuddemu musajja munnaffe
kati men are no longer responsible.
Obusungu buno gye buva
really kati tube tuli ku mulembe gwa global biki TikTok nolaba omusajja nga yeekola ebintu ntunogamba kati nzono wabeera tata wange najja ku vidi nyenzo okwekweka omusajja yes wabeera comedian it is okay naye wabeerawo nolaba nogano
ogamba nga asaana kukyayibwa
nogano omusajja teyandikoze bino. Now then here comes the ladies who want to be men nga oba nkinyonyole batya nga yetagambwa she feels like she has to naye waali nga tayagala beera wansi wa musajja
abasajja babakyaga
physically awo byonna ebinaddirira awo obusungu bujja kuttuka obutamala budde n'ensonga esembayo abampuliriza n'abandaba gye tusalidde Juma Sheikh atugambye atusomeseza aya tugamba nti we tunaava ku mateeka ga Allah tujja living obulamu obwakanyigo waman a'rada an dhikr nabbi yatuteerawo amakubo mwana mulenzi woba ogenda wasa omuwala tunuulira eddiini ye n'empisa ze eddiini etambula n'empisa tunuulira famire ye ogenda wasa omwana muwala nga nazaala mwenna mwamulabye mawulire si kyekyo tunuulirako famire ye ebintu ebimu bigenda otuukawo ngoga ne sengawe twamulaba mugenfuufu you know nga watomera bomu nge amateeka nabbi ge yateekawo naawe ogalabye neba ajati Allah nabbi n'abagamba nti woba oyagala Simon tunuulira empisa ze n'eddiini ye ajati ayogedde ku kigambo kya ideology ife tukulidde ku TV tulaba busoopu kati tuyina perspective ya love nti omuwala alina okukola bino n'omulenzi alina okukola bino. Those are the western love. Fe tuli bafirika
namwe muyina ogwammwe
naffe tuyina ogwaffe kati omuzungu yagenda n'atuteekamu n'ebikolwa
omuzungu bw'ategeera ogwaffe alekawo ogugwe
okongereza ku kyaseeka yensonga lwaki abakyala abazungu abasinga we banozaako ku basajja bakaddugala tebaba basigalawo. Okay, tuddeyo baseeka tuddeyo ko ku busiraamu tujja funa ku mirembe neba ajati tuddeyo ku busiraamu olw'okuba lavunigaze akukola bye walaba mu firimu era eyo maaso
oyagala beetaata w'abaana
maisha tanvanqa obulamu obwakanyigo kwevuma kwekuba ag'enfuufu bujja essaawa yonna. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh. Bana ikatupozingemo katono. Kale.
Nzawa alaikum
wa barakatuh.
Bwe mwogedde obutakkaanya wa relationship kino nkyogera nze nganze kuba nkiyisemu sometime back na datingako ku muwala billah okwanya omuwala masha manyi waliwo perspective osanga omuwala nga bambi yeeyisa bulungi empisa nnungi kabona agamba akatulanga keebisse it's like she's humble
akatulanga kebise kakawa naye kebise
yeah ngada she's a good person, she's intelligent, aina wakola naturally ngo edala checho kwanagala alhamdulillah kiriza sibadde njagala yo is like zino sente no more which is okay nga person as a person she's understanding ategerera dala natuke kiseera nga bikasera lwa buli simu lwa boba tasabye sente takuwiriza message temunyumya olwo olukesa nga oliro omuntu wallahi wulina nga is like buli wako besimu omanya guno mpira nga tokunsasulidde nga togenze eno ya n'owulira nga is like gomo nyini nga tezi wako besimu
otakyawa yo kyawa
no gamba kiki then oli yagenze naga is like abasajja tebaba wachi tawa that feeling ofunye musajja ki muli waliwo bino byogenda ngogamba you're right yes notomera omuki notomera omusajja atali mutufu gwe mwenyini wedo olabye joge that is like musajja tali understanding naye otulambudde ki ogenze omusajja mbadde manyi osobola kumusoma wano ngaki nga tonna mutwala no matter right now ono si mutuufu ono mutuufu and second ekyawula abantu it's like what education background ofunye omusajja tasomye agenda kugaana okukola atonyiige funa muno be mwasoma let me say omanye this and this and this naye bufuna level yo olaba that it's like you can fit here ogenda funa level jota jamu agaana okukola kino atonyiige so nsize ensonga z'ebinzo guys like ki ate mulimu ne peer pressure omukazi nakuteeka ku pressure njagala kino olwokuba alabye oli akirina naye nga gwe tategedde ki tategedde ofuna kyenkana ki due to ye baalaba banne nga tategedde gwe ki how much do you earn
mashallah barakallahu fikum thank you for that beautiful submission. I don't want to take a lot of time because we have another item on the agenda. Now I want to prepare my audience and I want to summarize this whole MUK session because we had the Gulu edition. Now this is the MUK edition. Get to understand that we were created differently. وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. Our Creator wants us to understand we are created differently. Men, we are different from women. Women are different from men. With that reality, we are created to irritate each other because of that difference. You don't need a man that reasons as a woman. You don't need a woman that reasons as a man. If everyone is in their space, definitely there must be irritation at some point. Now, when you get to understand that we are different, okakanamuko no manyanti, this difference that is primary is natural. We are engineered differently. Now, the second sad reality is we are all feeding this hatred. We are sponsoring it. And it has no good impact in our society. There is no society that has ever proceeded, that has ever been prosper. Newanga alanga ya amani. The protectors of ladies tebaliwo. It is not there in history. There is no society that has ever succeeded in anything when the mothers, the sisters, the queens of emotions are not in the game. Now, if we are feeding on this whole hatred, the ladies hate men, men hate ladies. Of course, there are very many factors as to why ladies hate you, because you as a man have put those factors in play. There are very many factors as to why men tebabagala babatya, as a result of what has been engineered and sourced from the ladies' side. Now that's why I'm saying each gender is sponsoring this hatred, and wallahi al-azim, it's a threat to our society. This is where whoever is the leader of a society, a head of a certain community, you have to make it a task to make sure this hatred is not there. Where are you going to get this lady now? You don't want to get to a lady that is innocently you're the first husband and she's already biased about this whole being a man. You don't want to get a man that is too biased with this whole lady. He's preparing himself to deal with a thief. But you're not one. Now this is a threat to our society. And guess what? Each gender is responsible. The reason why this hatred is onto you, because of you. The reason as to why this whole hatred is on to ladies, it's because of you, ladies. Now that's on a bigger perspective. The spectrum is too wide. Twechawa kubanga buli muntu akoze kinene nnyo kubanga ng'akyayibwa. Someone brands themselves to make sure all they deserve is hatred. And definitely you're not going to receive anything different from that. Ojja kukyayibwa because you've branded yourself like oyina okukyayibwa. Now Islam comes to give these key differences to understand. You're not supposed to be a reason as to why maybe you're not going to be responsible for the whole community and society. At least you. Why do you brand yourself in your being a man as someone who deserves to be hated? As a lady, why do you brand yourself as someone who is supposed to be hated? Now, this whole hatred is sponsored by everyone here. And trust me, it's not healthy. Gone are days where every man was ready to protect any girl, regardless. Today, whenever a man is helping a lady, either amukwana, oba byagobako, oba bwategendereza n'omukwata asobola. Now, is that healthy for you? The world is not going to be a safe space if you don't have protectors in play. You don't need men in your social circle. Okay, we are in a Ugandan context. You have a father as a man in your social circle. You have brothers. You even have your colleagues. Now, you need all these male figures in your social circle. Kubanga, they prioritize protecting as a lady because that is their role in a society that is primary. Actually, this man actually asks you, before I do something, before I give you this umbrella, when it is ready, what are you going to give me in return? Now you're smiling. This world is going to... That's why Sheikh said, it's one of the signs of the day of judgment. When protectors are not doing what they do best, you're raped, you're victimized, baba manyira, basobora no kuba. In town, I'm a Ugandan with you here. There is bakuba mu kibuga ngati wali musajja agoye mu byoyo. Weekiri wano olwaleero. Wallahi, it's not healthy for you, not even for your daughter. Maybe go weekuuma nnyo, but your daughter is coming tomorrow in this whole society. The number one question is she protected? Maybe your mother is out there. Now you need protectors in the game. You don't contribute on that hatred because in the long run you need protectors. Maybe they are not your father because talina wano. Just in case we are here, ladies and men, in case of any calamity right now, the manhood in us pushes us to make sure you are safe. But trust me, if a calamity stands now, everyone runs away. Obo kwatiddwa, obo genzo otya, na wano buli omwa nange muwalimu wammwe. Tekikwewunyisa kubanga nange ntambula n'enkola ntya. Never. But back in the day, men were like, okay, newankubadde we are men. We are created as protectors for these. And that's why the world was safe. You remember the story of Islam. Those who are well versed with the Islamic history. In Mecca, the reason why you never had very many stories of ladies here and there, because it was a hostile region by then. Ngentalo nyingi, ladies found felicity and peace indoors. Mwibye mujerega, mbabachala bedda bali nyoma emanju, babajje emanju. Bali emanju kubanga entalo zali nyingi. There were very many battles there. And when there is a battle, the safe space of a lady as the queen of emotions that nurtures another generation, aina kubanga aliwa munju. Now men were out fighting battles as they were protecting their sisters, their mothers, all the titles, and their ladies in a community. That's way back. And in Medina it was something different because the levels of security in Medina, they were not like the same levels in Mecca. That's why you hear narrations where Aisha was a teacher to many companions. The ladies were empowered in Mecca, in Medina rather, as compared to Mecca, because the levels of security in Medina were top notch. They were elevated as compared to that in Mecca. Now this is the whole context. You really want to tell me that your grandmother and father that raised your father just because they are in the house? Definitely no. Those are the real queens. Check out our mothers today. You're too confused. You want to be effective at work. You want to be effective at home. Of course, you're not going to do because you're a human being. You have limitations. In the long run, after 20 years, you have indisciplined kids in the making, and you're going to retire with them. Now, definitely, this is the whole confusion. Now, that's why I'm like, it is a threat to our sociology. If you're a government official here, please take it to the meetings there. You have to discuss this with the government officers, the ministers, and so on, to make sure, if there is a case that is trying to ignite this hatred based on gender, it's not healthy for any community. Because you never know what happens tomorrow. If the males in your ladies in their own community, but you're with us here. The border guy you're going to take is a man. But he hates you. You're not even his wife. But he hates you. Where are you going to buy? At least you need that into every man you deal with. A man that is going to respect you and ready to protect you just in case. The same applies with you. You need every female in your social circle to be a queen of emotions. What will happen when your wife dies? Of course, you don't want to just take it up. You need a female figure in your social circle that is ready to give that emotional support to your kid. Don't you really think it's a threat when you don't have any wife who is basically a wife? Not even a wife, a woman. Because you don't need to be a wife to be emotionally active. All you need is to be a woman. Mukwano gwo gwosomye wano wakuyambira nakugamba nti oyiriba n'omwana oyo ate okyali muwulu nze ndi mbufumbe eno omwana muleeta akulire wano bba wange mwasoma naye tajja kunyiga ng'owaayo kaanawo ka myezi 6. Will that happen ng'obusungu obwo webuli? Obatanya obubatya ng'oyiriba n'omwana ng'okutukuliza omwana alina version ya kubeera musajja yekka kyokka nga muwala. Everyone is sponsoring this hatred. Now, of course, we are not the government here. Of course, we are government because government is the people of people by people because so we are part of government. Of course, if you're in position of impact, if you're the big sister, the big brother at home, make sure your family is not having this unnecessary hatred based on stereotypes. Now, let's get to understand that too. The social stability is at stake because of this hatred. Check the divorce rate. Do you know how many marriages are failing just because everyone is not positioned where they belong? The single parenting story. Do you know how many single fathers are out there? Reason being because of this hatred. And chances are high you're not going to be the same again because of probably the story that happened. You hate ladies because of the experience you went through. You're a human being, you're not an angel. You're going to play on that history tomorrow. It takes a lot of discipline to understand that whoever affected you negatively is only a person. There is beauty outside them. The same applies with you. Definitely, maybe you have a bad story with the father, with the previous husband, with a certain boyfriend, mwali mchataka mukwano, na kumenya omutima. Yandikoze chinga mchali bana bato. Aina kumenya mutima mchali bana bachi. Bato, now you're a big girl now. And you want that history to affect your future. It takes a lot of discipline to understand that, okay, that was my mistake before. Let me use the same mistake I made to make sure my future is flourishing. Now, we get to that reality to understand that even this marriage, the marriage family setup is affected by this hatred. That's why you're even single. That's why you're single. You're single, isn't it a factor? To a large extent, historians, you know, to a large extent, not even a small, you are single, and you might even die single because you hate men. Because every man that is coming is fitting the shoe you designed for them. Instead of first dealing with them, they are still human beings. They first become human beings to become dogs. Now for you, this man is innocent. He's a good person. He has come as a human being, not yet a dog. But you want to first treat him as a dog. In the long run, a good person being treated as a dog, what comes out? Definitely marriage is done. Is it healthy for a society? Single parenting, single mothering, single. Why do you even become mothers and fathers? At least like Allah ingiremo kubanga, akugerero kubanga you're a single mother and single father because of qadar. But don't put a reason for you to do that. That is why we need to discuss this. And when we visit the Islamic history, even with the Islamic wisdom, yachituanguiza. Wallahi, we are different in the mind. Our intellect is different. Our reasoning is different. And that's the beauty in our difference. A man is attracted to a woman because of the femininity in you. You are attracted to a man because of his being masculine. Now, you don't want a society that is building a man who reasons and wants to behave as a lady, who is engineered to be as a woman just because you hate men. You don't even want a woman who wants to find no peace into her position. You're not going to start up a family. That's why it is okay. You stay in your single life if you're already engineered like that. Now, our Islam came to at least guide, to make sure this hatred that is unnecessary, matter of fact, you can't do what ladies are doing, which is okay. This unnecessary competition is not called for. You can't do what men are doing, which is also okay. Now, why do you want to just justify yourself, please? We are also women. We are also women. We have rights. What rights aren't you having already? Don't get lost with these trends, please. We need to make sure our society, most especially Muslim society, it is just morally upright. Let our girls become good girls, good mothers, good wives. They die, they enter Jannah with their husbands. Let our men also be good men, good boys, good husbands, good fathers. You die, you enter Jannah. If those titles are tempered with, you might even die and enter hellfire. To make matters, now we are different. You can't be pregnant. And you can't make yourself pregnant. Don't we need each other? We need each other. The levels of understanding each other are supposed to be mutual because Allah yatuangwiza, we are not different and we are not the same and we are not going to be the same. Now if you learn that, Ogumamu, you're like, okay, I'm not going to put force onto something I have no control over. Walaysa dhakaruka kal untha. We are not the same. Even our responsibilities are not the same. What is your responsibility as a man, as a father? Ar-rijalu qawwamuna ala nisa. Your role is to protect and provide for your people. Actually be a leader to them. Not only to provide. Islam is good in a way that you provide in your own capacity. You don't stretch. Be a leader to your people. If at all you're not a leader to your people, because akabenja akali mukubera n'amakago nene okusinga okubeera gaawukanye. Your responsibility is that. It is not going to change. You are the head of your wife and kids, your wives and kids. You're going to protect for them and provide for them. That is your role, responsibility. You try your level best to make sure you're doing that. And your role is also well stated by Islam. Now you remember a lot the role of this man, responsibility of this man, but it is even technical for you as a wife today. Now you have the working story, you're here learning, definitely you're going to work tomorrow. Have you even thought about the sensitivity of you working? Can you even be an effective wife with the whole effective working? Of course, I'm not saying you're not going to work. Work because we need you to work. You're engineered with that. But as a Muslim lady, you work when you're conscious. Actually, your grandmothers and mothers never used to do a lot to make sure they please their husbands. Today you need to do a lot. One simple scenario: if you get married to a responsible man, even your working is not a credit. Kubanga, his responsibility is telling him not to even lean on your income. He's paying rent, he's taking good care of you, and even taking your kids to school. Full, top notch. Kumasomero ga sobola. That's the responsibility of him. Now, into his mind, he is not engineered to even respect the fact that okera no koma wechiro. Taina wa achiraba. Alaba chayi guomuwa. Na kutula ne munyumyamu embozi. That emotional support jasubira. Guess what is happening today? You're not even doing that. And the whole campaign you're having is my money is my money and your money is your our money. But do you know what it means? Your husband at home achimanyi ofuna akakadde oba bubiri yafuna emitwalo aga 5 nga ina information ingeyo nakuulira enkeera ng'ogamba nti your money is our money and my money is my money. What does it mean? Kiba kitegeeza nti this society is even engineering these wives okubeera abakodo to their families. Why do they get married? Baleke babeere mubasingo. If you need a wife that you have to write a paragraph, please, on behalf of me as your husband, please, you buy a shirt for our son. Inshallah, on Friday, this date, I'm going to give you your 100,000. What marriage is that? Now, that is a challenge of your time. Don't you really think taking up your role as mothers, as queens of emotions that nurture? Because as a lady, you even underestimate your title. I envy you girls. How I wish Allah respected this hatred. Natuwako chemuyina. Nitusoka tuwechawa bulungi nga buli omaso. Namwe nabalekeyo, nafe natuwako chemukola chi? Chandibadde chimala. Imagine inspiring a soul, because the Islamic wisdom is you were created to make sure the next generation is reasonable. Nga etegeera. The reason as to why mutegeera 90% it's your mothers. Now, is that a position of mwesasire bannaye nga tuli bubi nnyo nga toli mugumba? That alone would be a position of pride. Mwajigoba. Actually, temwagala zala. The second point is just taking good care of your man. Because Islam never went these details. Please prepare tea, prepare coffee, cappuccino. That is not necessary. The Islamic role is just make sure you're taking good care of your. The way your mother took good care of your father is not the way today. Because time has changed. Maybe you're taking good care of your man is of your generation. Engineer that. Some of you are too unserious that your men go into saloons to make sure they just get that calming environment. Your man, you are a failure as a wife. Chitufu wasi chitufu. Now you are waiting for a khatib also to come and be like, please as ladies, even when you're learning, as in education, in any course you're doing, try at one time you have YouTube. Learn these basics of making sure you win the attention of your man, kubanga you're taking good care of them, even when you're working. Okola ebiteetagisa, naye nga wandikoze ebyetaagisa n'ofuna n'obubonero. Don't you really think omusajja avudde mu ttaka lya Uganda nga wano mu economy nga bwemula ezunza akomyewo n'13,000 omuntu eyavudde wakanga ebirowoozo byonna bikoze bitya? Akomyewo ewuwo kyewakwata mu mutwe mazzi gookya mu flask nemmere ku plate n'omuviira. You're too unserious to that level. Don't you think you're also failing there? Now the role of a wife is just peace bringing. True or false? Because peace is not in food. Maybe he doesn't even have appetite. Allah nabasasire eno hatred ebajudde mitima. You are forgetting your roles. These men are not responsible anymore. You're not also caring anymore. What happens in marriage? Katugume Allah yatugerera. Ngamukuza bana, the father is telling the daughters, please, you're also telling the kids, mugume, nga nange wengumidde taata wammwe. Bwe mutanda bakutuula wano, but for 20 years bana mmwe enkoze nki? Bibagattako ki mukyala gwaswaza okubeera omukyala? Sit down, let everyone find confidence in their roles. Be protectors and providers, be caretakers. Now it is sensitive today kubanga chikaluba moko because you have this whole battle in play. You want to be a protector and provider. Naye omukyala akumanyira. Of course you're a human being. You're not going to find peace in providing. Of course we are giving you this guidance, and even when you're upset, even when you're not in good terms, it shouldn't limit your providing. Naye tubyogera muhalaka wano tetuli mmakaago. Maybe emmanyira gy'ommanyiddemu osusse red line yo. Omanyi kitegeeza okubanga omusajja agenda kukukuuma, agenda kuprovidingira, naye ng'omuvumye mu baganda be n'ebwerwa mikwano gyonna egiri close gimanyi ng'omusajja nga bw'atakola ki? Mutera kumanyira mutya wamma? Okumalako ki ekisinga okuluma? Aha. Musajja wo n'omukuba eggambo kale ayinza okuba nga kituufu tamalako. Naye lwaki ogamba abantu? Wallahi omusajja kati just imagine obufumbo obwo. Naye tube realistic. Imagine obufumbo obwo nga Semaka ali mmaka naye nga mukyala we yamwogeddeko gye bagula ebintu. Nti bbaawo oba bba wange ekisajja ekyo temumulabira kubanga yeekyanga mu office ku TV eyo, naye amazima gali nti yeetaageddwa. Wallahi Allah agera ebintu the same information gwonyumyako just kunyumyako awo. Tomanya gye bimutuukirako n'abifuna. Kikalubamuko kwongera akakadde. Tukajja musomera aya nti musajja gwe dagaba abaana bange bakuze nga musigaza Justin ya mubeera awali mufe buli omu agende muyeegaane munye buli omu afune mulala mujjana. Now consider that kubanga obusiraamu bwaleka principle ng'eno ti as you're providing and protecting, that is your main role. Please do that. Be a leader. N'okubeera leader olwairo kyakyukamu. You protect your family from social media pressure. You protect your family from okumanyirwa. True or false? How many of you are prioritizing that? Mumulozo tewali intalo ziri luddawa. Muzirabawo wano. Alhamdulillah tewali. Now your role as a protector is from what? You make sure you protect your family and kids from this whole drama eri mu nsi yonna. Now you have failed to protect your family. Bavu omwana wa asemba. Enkobogo. Kubanga you this unserious father. Mukyala we nakwata omwana wa akyali innocent. Talowooza na kulowooza. Tasobola na kweyogera n'amuteeka mu public. You are a failure as a man. Basajja kutuswaza. At least you protect your scandal. Omwana ono kasooka akule 18 naye agulewo account ye. Your failure. Tomanyi ku protecting mukyala wo? Tomanyi. Actually you can't. Now everyone is just confused the era. Buli muntu ali just like that. Lwaki temujja kwekyawa? Now the objective of this session as we are winding up is please treat that hatred as it's supposed to be treated. Tokkiriza that hatred to affect your social circle. Okujjako ngeze direct. Not every lady is a thief. Not every lady is malice. Not every lady is unserious. my good students are here. Amagezi mwegali. Not every man tategeera, not every man adukubuvunanyizibwa, my good students are also here. Bw'omulaba nganga wali omanyanga just answaziza buswaza naye azimbiddwa okubanga muntu muki muntu mulungi. Saba Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala atufuula abantu abalungi, and please let us remember that let everyone find peace in their role. Tewetaga beera musajja to be impactful. Actually we have it nti for a lady to be impactful in a society, positions zili well set, being a mother. Now you're not even proud mothers. Isomalacho mwana wo mukwe katomogera na muogera. Just make sure you're nurturing well, you're creating. That is a good enough position for you. Bringing a soul to life, giving them disciplines, teaching them. Your failures as mothers, you still undeserved the respect. You have failed as a mother. You're not effective as a wife. Choka bakutikira ku mulimu. Bakongera n'omusaala. Takutegeera. Kiringanga kubanga omusajja ali eno takulabirira. Taina kuvunanyizibwa. Kyokka ssebo akukola amasajja ekirombo okoye. Would you even give them accolades into thank you for being a man? Buli muntu afune amaanyi mu their roles. Now even when you're advancing in knowledge, masters, degrees, mutegere that level of understanding bana yensomye na yete bina bikakwate na marriage. Kubanga even when you're getting married, masters degree ojifuna mu economics ofunye mu masters ne mu mateeka. Marriage ina dynamics ndala mukko with your masters. Marriage is going to turn up. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deal with this hatred ajitujem, because it's not healthy for us. At least we bang in see your name obusungu ngobwo gezaako gwe ne baganda bo, your friends, your circles, think like people who find interest in the other. You need women in your life, and you need men in your life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that understanding. Wa barakallahu fikum wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.